This is a clip from the most recent episode of The Big Questions. The topic is, do sinners go to hell?
So everyone in the studio who knows about Muhammad but does not accept him as the last prophet is going to hell?
It looks like it.
Put your hands up if you've heard of Muhammad but you don't accept his message as the last prophet. Put your hand up. You're doomed. What's hell like?
Hell like is hell.
What's it like there?
It's very hot. It's.
I don't think this is particularly funny. Maybe I'm just too hard-headed, maybe I'm just a cynic, or maybe they're just laughing at the notion of hell as a concept and how ridiculous it is. But that aside, I personally don't think that hell is something that you really need to be laughing about. The Muslim guy you see there is called Mohammed Hattahet from the Manchester Mosque, and he both believes and advocates all of this.
He's being serious.
I'm serious.
Tell us, what is it like in hell?
Heat, pain, and I can quote either the Quran or the Bible to say what's in hell. It says there's be sulfur, burning sulfur in hell. The people will be burning there forever. Now, this similar things in the Quran. So whether it's in the Bible or the Quran, it says hell is a very terrible place for people who don't obey God. They'll go there forever. So whether Jews, Christians, or Muslims who have similar believes about hell. Hell is not a holiday resort.
So obviously he's quite aware of the concept of hell. But to me, one of the most significant things he uses to define hell is the concept of eternity. He said, and I'm quoting him exactly here, they go there forever. Clearly he is under no illusions as to the nature of hell in the Abrahamic faiths, which is why I'm so sickened by people laughing at it. I did a video on this exact subject over a year ago, very early on in my talk to the camera YouTube career. It was called The Atrocity of Hell, and if you want to go watch it, it's in the description. I warn you though, the editing in that video is rather sluggish, and I'm in no way as charismatic as I am now. However, it does sum up quite well my beliefs about hell, and why I do not think that it's a laughing matter. And so let's return to this concept of forever. This is what hell is to the followers of Abrahamic faiths. It is forever, it is eternal, it's infinite, it has no end, it is truly, temporally permanent. The pain that you experience there is also more extreme than you could ever imagine. So the Abrahamic definition of hell is a cruel mixture of infinity and pain. The thing is though, this quite obviously runs counter to the idea of an all-loving God, because we as humans can only commit a finite amount of sins. There is nothing anyone can do to logically deserve an eternity in hell, and yet they all sit there laughing about this, laughing along with him as he advocates this. And this entire discussion is made all the more interesting when Adolf Hitler is brought up, as with most things. The woman you're about to see is referred to as Sister Agatha, so I assume she's some kind of nun. Pay close attention to how he reacts at her answer.
Where's Hitler?
I have no idea.
There is
When are you going to have an idea then? He killed so many millions, so when are you going to have an idea? His war caused 55 million deaths, and you still don't know. When are you going to know that? 55 million. It's the Second World War, 55 million people died. That's because Hitler wanted a bigger Germany.
So he obviously understands that Hitler was a horrible, horrible person. In fact, it's quite fascinating that Hitler is used as the archetypical evildoer whenever we're discussing evil. His name is synonymous with evil. And yet, logically, even he does not deserve the putrid concoction of suffering and pain that is the Abrahamic definition of hell. Do you have any idea how messed up that is? That a man who is defined by his unrepentant evil doesn't even deserve what Christians, Jews, and Muslims call hell. And everybody just sits there and laughs. This is what these people are advocating. And not just for finite sins, but for ones that aren't even that bad anyway. Things like stealing or telling lies or fucking ass. They deserve hell according to this guy. But again, this discussion is made all the more interesting when we come across a guy called Dr. David Efford, who is a theologian and philosopher at the University of York.
I have a different Christian message in that everyone eventually is going to be going to heaven. I don't believe in a hell at all, because I believe in a just God. It is inconsistent with the justice of God.
Everyone's going to heaven now.
Eventually. It is inconsistent with the justice of God for him to condemn anyone to hell, because if hell's an eternal realm of punishment, that's an infinite amount of punishment, and I can only do a finite amount of bad things. It also is a place where there cannot be rehabilitation. And it's also a place where, with our finite intellectual capacities, we cannot imagine that consequence.
Would a just God create hell?
That's why I don't think there is such a thing. There should be no people in it.
Thank fuck for that. Some religious people get it. Some religious people have actually thought about it and have realised that hell is fundamentally at odds with an all-loving God, which leads us to one of two conclusions. Number one, Muhammad Hattahet hasn't thought about this very hard. Or number two, Muhammad Hattahet is an awful human being. Of all the things that I truly despise about religion, hell has got to be one of the most revolting and repulsive. It is a pernicious and contemptible concept that has one purpose: to scare you into submission. And to anyone who actually believes in hell, not to mention advocate it, you seriously need to rethink your position. Think long and hard about what you believe. Thanks for watching.